real, runaway winner here. So I think they're going to be putting them through their paces and doing a second round of comparisons here to really nail down who they got in what position. So.
Just looking at this lineup right here, it looks like Mo's tan is a little dry in his chest area.
Yeah, it needs a little bit more glaze on there.
87 Mo.
Blessing's got the glaze on for both of them.
86 Nathan.
Blessing's definitely got the size, but
Elias.
if he can keep that stomach in.
94 Christopher.
There we go.
Yeah. Glad to see Chris in that lineup.
Really happy to see Chris Miller get his moment in the first group here. I think he definitely earned that. And even in this group here, I think he fits in really, really well.
84, 94 quick.
Having Blessing come closer to the center.
I suspect they'll move Mo in.
87 and 86 quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that comparison between Nate Epler and Chris Miller.
Yeah.
86 and 95 quick.
From the front, I don't really see any flaws in Mo's physique.
84,
No, he's very good and very balanced from the front. Where he lacks a little bit is just in the back. But crazy quads, really nice structure.
Gonna have Blessing get right next to Mo.
Front double bicep.
I mean, Blessing is huge in that front double bicep.
Yeah, no, Blessing looks good here.
It's crazy how his waist is just so small when he sucks it in.
Yeah.
Front lat spread.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Moore and Chris Miller, that's a pretty good comparison right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Chris looking great in that side chest.
Face the rear.
Blessing's hamstrings there look really good in the side.
Yeah, Blessing's got a ton of density for sure. I think he is planning to go to the UK next week as well, so maybe one more week to bring that conditioning in just a little bit tighter.
Yeah, especially in the glutes and the hams. It would be nice.
Relax, gentlemen, let's start out. Everybody get in a box. I don't need you guys bumping each other. Back double bicep.
Still bossing the guys around on stage.
Yeah, I still think Mo's tan could be a little darker.
Yep.
When you see him next to the other guys, I mean, even comparing it to Chris Miller or Nathan.
Yeah, Chris Miller's tan is on spot.
Yeah.
Epler's got great shape, just needs a little bit more size.
Yeah, just more size. He was coming from the 212, and I think he's been continually growing. And I always think it's best not to rush that. That's when guys start to lose their shape and lose their lines, when they start to, grow a little too fast. But that's really what he needs to get himself to that next level and start winning some of these shows, is just some more size there. Structure's great. He shows up in pretty good condition. I think we've maybe seen him in a little bit crisper condition than we see him here today. But really good promise and really good structure.
Great ab and thigh from Mo Fuda.
Your favorite most muscular.
So who do you think they have, Patrick or Elias in third?
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
I personally have Elias, but I don't know.
Yeah, Patrick's definitely a little more dominant up top, where Elias definitely has a bit better legs and conditioning overall.
I'd like to see that comparison.
96, 87, 84, 93, back in line. Nathan, stay here. 95, 87, 84, back in line.
They're sending Elias back.
94, 86,
Sending Blessing,
middle.
Mo.
Yeah, so they're
I need 90.
keeping 5th and 6th here. They're going to bring some guys in.
Leandro.
So they're going to bring Leandro and Chris Jones into this group.
Gentlemen, take a step to your right.
I think Chris Jones looks great. It's just the midsection that throws me off a little bit on him.
Yeah, he's having a bit of trouble with his midsection control and was doing a little bit of stomach breathing this morning. Leandro obviously has a great structure, great muscularity. He's not really weak in any poses, but the conditioning here was just a little bit off. I think he just needs a few more weeks to tighten things up.
I mean, Chris Miller's holding his ground here for sure.
Yep. Yeah, you can see he still needs more on the quads, but overall, really, really good look from him and a pretty perfect peak.
Back double bicep.
This back of Chris Jones is great.
Yeah, Chris Jones on the far left. Really, really good back. Great detail.
Back line press.
Leandro does look maybe a hair drier than this morning, but maybe a little bit flatter. You know.
Side tricep.
Chris Miller having a little bit of trouble with the midsection there, but his arms are so massive they just kind of take your eye away from it.
Yeah, you can see he's got a hernia there in the midsection, which can make the midsection control a little tough in some of those shots. Definitely something you have to look into getting fixed, but.
Do you think that hurts his placing?
It definitely doesn't help it. Judges see any of those small flaws. Whether it's gyno or a hernia or, a lump here and there, they definitely take those things into consideration, especially when, they're kind of a close group of guys like that.
Relax. 1996 switch places.
Switching Chris Jones and Leandro.
You guys okay? Front double bicep. Front leg spread.
You have Chris Miller leading this call out.
It's tough between him and Nate. He's definitely carrying a bit more muscle overall, but he has the imbalance with the legs. The conditioning's both really good. I'd say Chris is maybe a hair drier. It's tough to say. I personally would have Chris, but I think either one of them is, have their strengths and weaknesses.
Back leg spread.
20-inch thighs make 20-inch eyes. Hoping for American 20-inch pie. Pretty clothes, pretty hoes. Oh, how I love these pretty high class, anything goes. Get some in the
Side tricep.
bows. Long time draws, long time stalls. Anything make my long time falls. Women on their tail making long time calls. And if they like to double, get long time. All players in the house.
Interesting massive triceps in that pose.
Dolphins for one side.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to see Leandro in better conditioning. I think he would have done much better in the show.
Yeah, he doesn't really have too many flaws in his physique. He's pretty complete, top to bottom, front to back. But the peak here wasn't quite there. Conditioning needs to be, a couple weeks tighter. And then, you can see that he pushed hard here to bring it in. He just has a little bit of flatness. Tan's a little bit on the light side too, and missing a bit of glaze, but.
88, Aaron. 89, Ronald.
Do you think Leandro should just keep pushing down and compete in one of the next shows coming up?
92, Walter.
Yeah, I think take a couple weeks and make sure that the conditioning is where it needs to be. I wouldn't try and rush anything. if I was him, I personally wouldn't do the UK. I think he needs a little bit more time to get a bit more body fat off than that. I don't think it's just water. Take a couple weeks, aim for something, like in May, if you want to do one of the shows kind of springtime, it gives you a couple weeks to bring the body fat down and make sure your body's regulated.
92 and 88 swing.
When you get on the floor, hit by stars, hit by cars, drunk off the liquor, getting hit by bars. Keep your close cause he's hit by bars, hit by
Gentlemen, front double bicep.
They got Raw in the middle of this group here. I don't think it's the best Raw we've seen. Not quite the detail we've seen of in the past.
Front lat spread.
And the taller guys, it's always a little bit tougher, to get those legs up to stuff with the upper body.
Side chest.
Aaron coming in at 300 pounds, but could probably use a few pounds less.
Yeah, you can come down a few pounds and just crispin that up a little bit.
Face the rear, back double bicep.
Ron does look great from the back.
Back lat press.
Yeah, I think the one big thing for Ron is just in the front, his quads aren't big enough, and they kind of make way.
He's got very long legs, and very wide through the shoulders, so it's throws up the balance a little bit on those front shots. Where he doesn't quite have as much of an issue with that. He's got wide adductors and big legs from the back, but
Konate having a little bit of trouble with the stomach in that pose.
Yeah, as the rounds go on, he's having a little bit of trouble controlling that there. Breathing a bit heavier.
So turn off the lights and close the door. But for what we don't let it hold. Yeah. So we gonna pump the ounce to that. G's up, hold.
Gentlemen, your favorite most muscular.
Laid back.
Relax.
Laid back. Now back, I got me some serious gin. Everybody got their cup, but they ain't chipped in.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line.
All the time. You gotta get your.
All right, we'll see if the judges want to see any more from these guys, or if they've.
Is there any more comparisons you'd like to see?
No, I think they've done a pretty good job here. I mean, we're gonna get more here. Who we gotten? Blessing.
87, Muhammad.
Mo and Blessing.
93.
And Elias.
95, Patrick.
All right, so this is our top four here.
Gentlemen, front double bicep.
Like who I was saying this morning, it's one of the great things about having a bit of a smaller show in terms of not having every category, where you have a bit more time to, run these guys through more comparisons, without the show dragging on for 6 hours,
Well, especially because it's such a tight show.
Yeah.
Even at this point, I still don't know who's second to third, fourth.
Yeah, no, it's really a close group here, yeah. I think they definitely have Mo in the first position.
I agree. Blessing great from the side pose.
Face the rear, back double bicep. Back lat spread.
Patrick's back width is pretty impressive as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he just needs to bring the conditioning down a little more in the lower body. I mean, overall, but you can see it a little bit more in the legs, glutes, and hams.
Yeah, and the glutes right there, especially in that shot.
Yeah, just a little bit blurred out.
Tricep.
Elias definitely just stand out from the conditioning standpoint here. Definitely the hardest from the back.
Elias has a great ham drop in that pose.
Yeah, great side trap.
Face front, abdominals on one side.
I mean, if you threw some tan on, I could see you in that top 4 call out right there.
I think I need a couple more weeks.
Your favorite most muscular.
Great vacuum from Blessing. Mo's got an impressive muscular.
Thank you, gentlemen. This concludes round 2, judging. 3-1, what we think? What an absolute show put on by our men's open class here today and here tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move into the individual routines. We're going to give them a minute just to relax and breathe. Our judging panel really putting them through the rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, have a round of applause for our incredible judging panel here tonight. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, after the show, once the show concludes, the expo is still going to be going on. Hostile is holding special discounts at the expo, so before you leave, go check it out, and you'll be able to stock up on Hostile supplements after the show for discounted prices.
Might have to pick up some Hostile protein.
Oh. All right, so we got a couple minutes here. They're going to bring I think they're just doing the top 10. They're going to come back
10.
out and do the routines. So if you're putting money on it, how are you going right now? Top 5.
Oh, that's tough. I'd have to say Mo. I'd say Mo, Blessing, Elias. Patrick, Chris.
And then Nate rounding out the top 6.
Gentlemen,
What do you think?
I think they will have Nate in that 6.
Mr. Olympian
Yeah.
with wins in 2022 at the New York Pro and Indy Pro. Please welcome from Port St. Lucie, Florida, by way of Dublin, Ireland, the Boogeyman, Blessing Awodibu.
All right, first up we got Blessing. Blessing's always a guy you can tell just loves being up there.
He's got a personality for
Yeah.
sure. You can tell that he was big on social media, but just by how much personality he has.
I think on the podcast someone asked us if one pro bodybuilder would be a good WWE wrestler. Who would it be?
I mean, he walks out to the John Cena soundtrack,
Yeah.
so.
It's very fitting. I think he's got the personality that would be perfect for that there.
I mean, he's got the nickname the Boogeyman too.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
The overall pretty solid showing from Blessing. You know, I'd still like to see the conditioning a little tighter, which has been kind of one of the critiques of Blessing over the last few years. And just a little bit better midsection control and some of the transitions. I think he actually did better as the show went on. When I think he first came out, maybe a little bit excited and doing a little bit of stomach breathing in transition. But he kept it together a little bit better as the rounds went on.
Yeah, I think if he works hard enough on it, he can definitely keep it under control. I don't think there's any reversing it, but I definitely think he can keep it under control.
No, because when he pulls up into the poses, his vacuum is really good. But it's just letting it in between some of the transitions. He has a little bit more trouble, but
Just gonna have to start practicing that vacuum every day.
yeah, he's having fun up there.
The Boogeyman, Blessing Awodibu. Our next competitor is a former 212 star, competing in his 4th contest in the open class, with top 4 finishes of the 2025 Chicago Pro and a top 3 placing of the 2025 Texas Pro. From Indianapolis, Indiana, please welcome Nathan Epler.
Nate Epler up next. Nate just needs a bit more time, put on a bit more size, but I mean, it's a great physique overall. Coming from the 212, I think he just needs a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's really what's the one thing holding back is just the size compared to some of these other guys. But great structure, great lines. Always shows up in pretty solid conditioning.
Do you think he tried to sacrifice a bit of conditioning for the show just to bring in a bit more fullness?
It's hard to say. I mean, you know, like I said, I think we have seen him a little bit crisper. So maybe that was his plan, just to try and, you know, push the fullness. But I think overall it was a pretty decent blend here. I don't think his conditioning is lacking by any means. But, you know, he set the bar high for himself. He's showed up always in really good condition, especially a guy coming from the 212. You know, those guys always show up in really, really good shape.
Good have it die. Do you think Nate should just call it a year and work on putting on that size, or do you think he should keep going?
No, I think it's good for guys to compete. You know, I think you can spend forever just trying to grow and grow and grow, and I think that can be a detriment sometimes getting into the perennial off season. Sometimes guys don't make as much progress as they hope to during that time.
Your next competitor is 1 week removed from an impressive top 7 placing at the 2026 Arnold Classic. He is a 2024 Mr. Olympian from the United Arab Emirates by way of Egypt. Please welcome Mo Foda.
All right, we got Mo up next.
Do you think this is an improved Mo from the Arnold?
I think it's pretty comparable. I would need to see pictures side by side to really be able to tell, but
I'll be standing tall with the whole world watching when the fight goes down.
Yeah, I don't really see any flaws in this physique.
no, from the front, definitely not. I mean, the back is what needs to work, just to bring that up to match the front a little bit. You know, some more depth and width in the back there, but great legs, great from the front. You know, his front lat is an excellent shot, great from the side as well.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean in the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the front with that most muscular looks great.
Yeah, great front lat, really well balanced.
When the shadows come to the horizon, I will be the one to say all that's
Who did he come 7th place to at the Arnold? Who was 6th?
Rafael Brand, I believe, was 1 place ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive Mo solidified his spot in 3rd place.
Yeah, no, I think he's in the driver's seat right now for sure.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, this was a tough show to predict. I mean, there was no super duper heavy hitters, you know, top 10 Olympia guys. So, you know, really it was anyone's show, and Mo took that opportunity.
2025 Detroit Pro. He is the people's champ, From Detroit, Michigan, please welcome Ronald Gordon.
Ron Gordon, hometown hero here in Detroit.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year he posted no music.
Yes, I do remember that.
Just the applause of the crowd.
It was loud.
Yeah. Definitely a cool experience, unique thing, but not something you can do really every show, I think. But he's got some music here tonight.
I feel like being in Detroit with the theme of Eminem tonight.
Yep. Very fitting.
His upper body's great. Just needs to bring it up a little bit in the legs.
Yep.
Good back width. A little bit lacking in the conditioning from the lower body especially.
Yeah, we've seen him definitely a little crisper. But he's having a good time up there. I love to see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Gordon. Our next professional turned pro in 2021 at the Amateur Olympia in Orlando. Please welcome, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Chris Jones.
All right, we got Chris Jones up next. I think overall pretty good showing for Chris Years. Definitely some good highlights to his physique.
Yeah, he has a great physique.
Really great from the back. Just needs to work on that midsection control a little bit. I think it hurt him this morning. Because it's not like he doesn't have a wide waist or a big waist or anything. It was more just, you can see there. His waist is actually very small.
Yeah, just the control over it in between poses and everything.
Yeah. Could be a food or a digestion issue. Sometimes when the guys are really pushing the food to be full, or it even could just be a little bit of nerves and you start stomach breathing.
Good conditioning, good back width.
That crazy lats, insert super low. Really good detail and density to the back.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, your next competitor is a true inspiration, a cancer survivor. Last year, his appearance here at the 2025 Detroit Pro was his first appearance after an 8-year absence from the competitive stage. Please welcome, from Lorain, Ohio, Walter Martin.
All right, we got Walter up next.
I remember seeing him last year at the Detroit Pro. Seems to be made some good improvements in his physique since last year.
Yeah, no, he looks great. As Sid said there, he was off the competitive stage for 8 years as he was battling cancer, but he's back here the last couple of years, and I think he's been making some good progress and looks really, really good.
Yeah, pretty crazy. You can literally fight cancer and then come back and make progress in your physique.
Yeah.
Conflicted, you got me tripping. Feel like I don't know what to do. Addicted
Good
to
back
your
over
love,
by.
I swear it's like a drug. I'm strung out on you. So lately I've been feeling like I need you all day and night. 24/7, we could be together every second of my life. Buried in your skin, kissing on your flesh, listening to your heart, never be
If you had any advice for him, what would you say?
I think he just needs to keep putting on a bit more size. I mean, conditioning could be a little better. I mean, you can see it in the glutes and hams, but overall the conditioning's not bad by any means. It's definitely pretty solid. Still just a little bit light compared to some of the bigger guys, but great shape. Good balance overall to his physique. I'm a fan.
Like that, at nearly 50 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
And almost 50 years old, which makes it even crazier.
Your next competitor is making his professional debut, earning his IFBB Pro card at the 2023 NBC North Americans. Please welcome, from McKinney, Texas, Elias McCall.
Elias McCall up next. That was pretty impressive, his physique this morning. Looks great. Big quads. Great arms. Definitely one of the more conditioned guys on stage.
Yeah, it needs a bit more muscle in a couple areas up top, through the chest. But good showing here for him. Definitely stood out from a conditioning standpoint. Super wide structure. And a little more depth at the back, but you can see conditioning is definitely stand out here.
Good width in the front lat spread. Quad popping in the avid thighs. A little bit of a thicker waist, but it looks great in that vacuum.
Yeah, no, he knows how to present it pretty well. So he doesn't have the best structure. And he makes up for it by being, super wide in the shoulders and having a pretty reasonable set of quads on him. Big delts. And pulls it up nicely into that vacuum. A little more depth of the chest, I think, would really help accentuate that.
You can notice the chest in that pose there.
Good showing from Elias.
Yeah, good package overall. Great conditioning. Unbelievable.
How? A lot going on here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your next competitor is making his third appearance on a pro stage. He last competed at the 2025 Detroit Pro, earning a top 8 placing. From Montreal, Canada, please welcome Chris Miller.
All right. We got Chris Miller up next.
Yeah, I was very impressed with his physique.
He
Definitely
definitely a really good showing and put a lot of people on notice here. I mean, crazy density, really high level of dryness and hardness.
Yeah, I was seeing some of his updates leading up to the show, and I was pretty impressed with it, and I was hoping he'd translate that back on stage, and he definitely did.
Yeah, absolute monster set of arms.
Oh, it's crazy. It makes me jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, conditioning is, I can't see the live stream to know how it's translating, but here in person, his conditioning is just crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to see in the live stream for how good these people
it looks like he's made of cement. Yeah.
The people at home might be watching this and thinking that we're crazy for even saying that, Mo has first, but who knows what it even looks like.
Yeah, it's always tough to say. I mean, I think Gilco did a really great job here with the live stream, so I think it translates pretty well, but bodybuilding shows in person versus shows are always different. Guys show up differently, how their physique display over video. So
I think any of these athletes will be very happy with their pictures from on stage.
100%, yeah.
It's some of the best lighting I've ever seen.
Great lighting, the black backdrop makes a big difference for displaying the athlete's physique properly, right?
Your next competitor is a two-time Mr. Olympian with a top 10 finish in his debut Olympia in 2019. His resume also features 2 appearances at the Arnold Classic. Please welcome, from Tampa, Florida, Patrick Moore.
Alright, we got Patrick Moore up next here.
Patrick Moore looking great.
Yeah, I think overall this is a pretty decent package for Patrick. Still needs to bring the conditioning in a little bit tighter. But great structure. Really great from the waist up. Just needs to still continue to bring those legs up a little bit. He's got very long legs and a short torso. So, you need a ton of muscle on those legs to make them fit as well. You got a lot of space on them.
Yeah, Patrick originally, everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing in bodybuilding. Had a little bit of a fall off, but, he has all the tools that he needs to bring his body back and really dominate.
Yeah, he came out with a bang in 2019, winning a show and getting to the Olympia and placing 10th place there.
Great back.
Yeah, great back, yeah.
The conditioning in the glutes and hams definitely needs a little bit of improvement.
Yeah.
He has a very unique physique.
He does, yeah. It looks like no one else's, that's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Moore. Your final competitor has fared well against some of the top competition in the world, including a top 6 finish at the 2025 Pittsburgh Pro and a top 2 finish at the 2025 Arnold Brazil. He comes to us from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Please welcome, Leandro Perez.
Leading up to the show, I think a lot of people had Leandro predicted as coming in first.
Yeah, I think it was between kind of him and Mo, where really the people were talking about, Mo obviously coming off of the Arnold Classic, and a guy that's been to the Olympia before.
I think, I just missed the mark a little bit, but not far off.
Yeah, just needs a couple more weeks, but I think he did look actually a little better this morning.
Yeah.
Looks like he's a little bit flatter tonight.
Yeah, I wonder if he tried to come in a lot leaner since the morning show, and it just resulted in a little bit of flatness. Good vacuum. I always find it crazy. Big guys like this size and still pulling in the vacuum.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really great structure.
It's great adductor thickness. Literally no gap in between those thighs.
Representing Brazil, Leandro Pellet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our individual presentations. How about a round of applause for what we just saw here tonight?
All right, that's our top 10 routines. They're going to bring the guys back out here in a minute, and we're going to see our award for the top 5.
Most likely have a pose down.
A pose down as well, yep.
Showing us back down here on the stage. The moment of truth is near. 3-1-3. Let's make some noise for what's been an absolutely incredible, sensational men's open class. Gentlemen, you've been absolutely phenomenal. You are all worthy champions in your own right. Thank you for putting on a show here in Detroit for the thousands upon thousands watching around the world. Once again, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Do the judges require any further comparison? Once again, I'm getting just shake the heads. All right. Blessing Aladibu. I believe there is one more order of business to be had. What do you think that is?
See, we rehearsed this. You said you were going to help me with the pulse down. Right, but you said you were going to help me try to get the pulse. Right.
We're good. Blessing, one more order of business to take care of here tonight. What's it going to be?
Look, listen, the dud already got shot, so the business already been done. It's my show right here. I don't know what y'all looking at. The judges know what the deal.
Are we here to put on a show for the Detroit Pro fans here?
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is? Gentlemen, it is time to pose!
I don't know what he said, but
I have no idea what that.
Pose down.
Everybody trying to make room for themselves on stage. It's been a great overall day here in Detroit.
Yeah, no, they put on a great show here. You can feel the energy from the crowd, and but these guys really enjoy being up on that stage. You know, the crowd really helps with that.
All right, gentlemen, let's hit that money shot. One more shot here for the fans in Detroit. Here we go.
Let's go, boys.
Once again, let's make some noise for a truly epic, truly all-star men's open class.
All right, the moment of truth here.
It has been an absolutely incredible day of bodybuilding as we are now going to proceed into the awards. But if you were here last year, you know that when we crown a champion here tonight in the open class, that's not the end of the night. We have one more order of business to take care of after we award the winner of the open class. But with that, we're going to move right into the top 5 for the men's open class. So with that, please take the 5th place medal and
All right, 5th place. Who do we got here?
Tonight.
Oh boy.
Chris Miller.
Oh,
Nice.
Chris Miller snags himself a top 5.
Well deserved.
Big improvement from last year. Congratulations to him. Really worked himself up. Worked his way up through those call-outs.
Chris Miller.
And earned himself his first top 5.
Excellent showing.
He definitely seems happy about that.
Yeah, I think he got a little underlooked this morning.
Yeah, no, but he worked his way back up, kept fighting, held it together, and worked his way into the top 5. All right, Patrick Moore, top 4. He was 4th place. You know, just needs to improve the conditioning a little bit there. But good showing from Patrick.
A round of applause for Patrick Moore. Wonderful showing, Patrick. Please see the 3rd place medal, the check for $5,000, and presented to your 3rd place finisher tonight,
Elias coming 3rd.
Okay. So Elias 3rd, so now we're down to Blessing and Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. 3rd place here at the Detroit Pro in his pro debut. Elias
Not a bad pro
McCall.
debut coming in 3rd.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely sensational. And then there were 2. Bofoda and Blessing Aladibu. If we could.
Where are we going? Blessing 2nd, Mo 1st?
I think that's what's going to
We're
happen.
going to announce our winner, Detroit style. The winner of 2nd place, ladies and gentlemen, will receive a medal and a check for $10,000. Please say the 1st place medal, the check for $25,000, and the all-important ticket to the 2026 Mr. Olympia 2-hour winner.
Bofoda captures the win and punches himself a ticket back to the Olympia.
Not a bad 2nd place for Blessing with a $10,000 grand prize. I think the judges were pretty accurate with this. I don't think,
No, I think they did a great job here. I mean,
Here we go.
I think Mo's overall package with muscularity, conditioning, balance was the best here today. Blessing definitely carries a lot of muscle, but the midsection control and the conditioning can be a little better. So I think overall they did a great job here. So congratulations to all the athletes.
Thank you. You're all worthy champions.
thank you everybody for tuning in. And I think we're going to have the King of Detroit next.
Oh, yes.
We'll have Mo.
Wonderful job. And now
Fighting against Wesley.
we are joined by the winner of the 3rd ever Detroit Pro, Mo Foda, clinches his ticket back to the Olympia. Mo, you went to the Olympia in 2024 and you just showed out. Excellent appearance last week at the Arnold Classic. Talk to us about what this means to you to win here in Detroit in front of this crowd.
First of all, thank you, Fuad. Thank you, judges. Thank you, everyone who came today to just watch the show. You guys, we appreciate you guys. First of all, I qualified to Olympia 2025. I didn't do good. No, my appearance was shit. So 1 week ago, I did Arnold. You guys all see me on the stage on Arnold, and I didn't do good as well. My appearance wasn't good as well. I was disappointed. I stayed away from media. Because, you know, media is harsh. Is that like they don't know that we are humans, so they critic us like they like. Let's see Martins and what happened between Martins and Nick. Come on, guys. Like Nick, it's between Nick and Martin. We have seen this between Phil and Kai before. We have seen this long time between bodybuilders. So it's actually, for me as a bodybuilder on the stage, I saw them backstage and on stage. It was fun. For us, it was fun. Like, listen, I cannot just
wish for the guy who's next to me to beat me. Like, of course not. I wanna actually win the show. So it's a fight between Nick and Martin. But guys, you killed Martin. Martin, like 2 sponsors left him. And you guys keep going and going and going. He's a human. Let's say if he suicide today, what you guys gonna do? You guys gonna be happy? Of course not. I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking to media. So sometimes people need to see us as humans. Yeah, we big, but we have a kind heart. I have a wife. I expect a child in 1 month in Dubai under strike. So, I'm human at all. I was talking with Mike before the show. He knows a lot of things about me. It's personal things. But guys, sometimes we just need to feel like we're humans. We just need people to support us. It's okay if I fail, but I failed. I took 7, and oh my God, my people just start to critique me. He's just an Instagram guy. He looked shit on the stage. Come on, bro. You just say every time you will come back different. Big Ramy was different. Every time he said winter is coming. For 7 years, winter is coming. And that's fine. That's fine. And it's okay. He came after 7 years and he won Olympia. Your time is not now. Just people need to understand that. My time is not now. I'm doing my best. I don't want to lose the show. It's like people need to understand who is going to the show to just be like number 10 and think, guys, come on, yeah, thank you. Of course not. I just want to win every show I compete in. But come on, I compete against Androjack. Guys, have you seen Androjack? Oh my God. Backstage, the guy is huge. Martin, Nick is like different level. Like, I compete against the best guys in the world. So of course I don't want to be 7, 6. I want to be top 5. I did my best. I missed the peak. I didn't look good on the stage. I just disappeared. I came back. I win Detroit. And that's it. I can come back better. That's it.
Then maybe the most honest, refreshing victory speech we have ever heard. A very positive message. Well, Mo, you're not done just yet, because we have one more order of business. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were here with us last year, we held the first ever King of Detroit competition, and we're going to do it again here. So, Mo.
Are we going to take another shit or just a sip? So, what's in it for me? I just want to go and eat.
We're having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Detroit Pro Champion, Mo Falda.
Mo just being 100% real with his speech, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely hard with social media nowadays, for sure.
All right.
No, it's not an easy landscape to navigate.
The winner of our open class in place.
I think we're going to bring out Wesley here.